going on, everybody? Thanks for downloading the Voice of Bedlam Live and tuning in on the All In Sports Network app. Remember, guys, you can get the All In Sports Talk Network app from the iTunes Store, the Play Store, or go to allinsports.com. Thanks for tuning in to Voice of Bedlam Live. I'm your host, Andrew Santoro. We got a great show planned for you guys today. Going to have Mike Delucia on, author of Boycott the Yankees. Great little talking about the money in baseball and just how it's not right that the average family can't make it out to a game. But we'll get to that a little bit later, and let's hand things over to my man, Devil John, on the mic and on the boards. John, how you doing?
It's Friday. Fantasy football started off awesome, which going up against Sean, and my team has 55 points to his 5 because he started John Brown, which John Brown only got 1 reception, so that did not.
And who did you have?
I had the Arizona defense, and I also had Mr. David Johnson, my number 1 pick.
All right, well, we're going to talk about that game at the top of our daily breakdown, but before we get to that, let's tell you guys about JokerChoker.com. Now, JokerChoker.com is the home of Joker Choker Pro Football Pick'em Poker, a new style of football pick'ems that brings the strategy of poker to the game of football pick'ems. It's free to play, and it's easy to play, but it takes strategy to win.
Sure does. Each week, you're going to have to choose from your pick'ems. Now, each team is going to be signed a card, okay? Now, you have to make your best poker hand, so you have to pick the best 5 games. So you're betting on these teams, but not only that, the random draw of the cards makes it even more challenging because sometimes you're going to have to gamble against the underdog.
Now, if you guys go to JokerChoker.com right now, you can sign up for free and use promo code Bedlam. That's promo code Bedlam, just like the show. You guys will get a bunch of free coins so you can get in a bunch of cash games for free.
Fun.
You can win $500 and it not even cost you a cent if you use our promo code Bedlam at entry. So go to JokerChoker.com now and see what all the fuss is about. With that, let's get things moving with this week's daily breakdown. All right, as I said earlier, we're going to start off with Thursday night, recapping Thursday night football. Now, John, you already started talking about the game a little bit. Now, let's start things off with saying Arizona is still the only team in the NFL to not score in the first quarter.
Yeah, Blaine Gabbert went 18 for 33.
Blaine Gabbert, San Francisco.
Yeah, and on San Francisco's side, yeah, but 162, 1 TD, 2 INTs.
Well, here's the fuss now. With the 1-4 start, Chip Kelly has come out and said he's going to have to evaluate everyone in his organization, and that sounds kind of like Mr. Colin Kaepernick might be getting a starting nod sometime soon.
Yeah, possibly. You know, I know there's a lot of controversy going around, you know, whether to stand or not to stand, but honestly...
To stand or not to stand?
Yeah, that's basically what we should just call it. You know what? You know, stand or not stand. You know what? Everybody has an opinion. Everybody's going to have a differing opinion. Why don't we just enjoy the game of football, you know?
I second that.
You know, just enjoy it. Anywho, but like I said, Drew Stanton did not have a bad game. It wasn't great either. He went 11 for 28, completing for 124 yards, 2 TDs. But it was David Johnson's 2 TDs with 27 touches, 157 yards.
Now, that's the most yards on the ground by a player all year. Now, as we said, actually, I don't know if we said it, but Arizona coming out on top, 33-21. Now, looking at Blaine Gabbert's numbers, he has 5 touchdowns to 6 interceptions, 890 yards through 5 games. That's giving him a rating of 69.6. He has 150 attempts this year, completing 87 of them, and that's only a 58% completion rated.
That's just a messy situation right there.
And I mean, they are throwing a lot of underneath. Under Chip Kelly, he's only averaging 5.9 yards on average for a reception, for completion.
Yeah, exactly. The fact that they're not using
And it's very fast-paced.
Yeah, it's disgusting, honestly.
Now,
I think he could do well.
Chip Kelly said that, Blaine Gabbert fits his system and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I said all that. And I want to know when...
Town Call Philadelphia.
So when are people going to notice this whole fast pace? We need to run a play. This ADHD offensive scheme doesn't work in the NFL. When
the no huddle ADHD. Yeah.
When are they going to figure that out?
Honestly,
I mean, no huddle's great in the 2-minute drill.
No, here's the deal. The no huddle needs to be used in situational things. And this is how it's situational. When your quarterback can recognize that the package on defense that they have is creating mixed matches in their coverage, you gotta keep with it. It's like, all right, man, let's keep it going. Don't give them a chance to change out players. We have to exploit that. But I think
it's situational.
But exactly. But now with some of these players, they're trained now to be ready for that. So it's kind of, there's no element of surprise with that, I guess, and the conditioning and credit to the conditioning of the players on defense, because these are lean, mean fighting machines trying to sack these quarterbacks.
Absolutely. So now let's just take a quick second here and hear from one of our sponsors.
Are you unemployed looking for that perfect job, going back to school, or exploring a new career? Then it's time to visit newcodelogic.com. At Job Search Logic, we'll not only help you search and apply to any job, but do all the work involved to get you that new job. That's newcodelogic.com. Our strong, long-term devotion with all of our clients means a new world of possibilities for your new career. Get on the inside track to finding your new job today. That's newcodelogic.com. We have the connections and industry expertise to offer you the best jobs at the world's leading companies. Visit us today.
All right, now that we've taken care of some of our bills, let's talk a little bit more about money. Now, I'm up at boycotttheyankees.com. Now, according to Boycott the Yankees, it says celebrity owners and corporate CEOs indiscriminately write checks to narcissistic athletes and hundreds of millions of dollars while the average Joe struggles to bring his family to a baseball game. The scenario will not change unless fans organize and boycott. Boycott the Yankees is a well-thought-out tool to mobilize Yankees fans across the nation. It also explores baseball's humble past and promoting players for what it's like to truly love the game. And now, this book actually by Mike Delucia caught the eyes of Fox News Fox Network on America's Newsroom. Now we have Mike Delucia on the line with us. So, Mike, how you doing?
How are you? How you doing?
We're doing good. Thanks for coming on with us, man. We caught your book, and we wanted to have you on. It seems like a interesting topic. Why don't you tell us and all the listeners about Boycott the Yankees?
It really came to me because I love the Yankees so much, and I love baseball. And my heart breaks when I think about what's happened to baseball and what's happened to the Yankees, and it's all because of greed and ego. Greed and ego has built a fence between fans, the average Joes, the fans, and players. And if you look at Yankees Day, I mean, if you're a Yankees fan and you take a look at the TV, and you'll see lots of empty seats. And the thing about the empty seats, which sickens me, is that those seats are paid for. There's so much corporate business that owns seats in Yankee Stadium.
They don't even need to go.
They don't care. They're not fans, They don't care. They don't show up. They might show up in the third inning and might leave at the seventh. It's not the way baseball was, not when I was growing up, and it's disheartening, to say the least. And lots of people have spoken to me about, tell me their stories, and, we've exchanged a lot. And then I said to myself, you know what? I have to write a book and try and organize people so that we can, take a stand against what's happened to America's favorite pastime.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I got a, we're not going to say the name of the site, but I have a random commonly used ticket site up right now. And for a row 6 at the Yankees game, one ticket, $662. Now, I understand what you're saying. The average middle class, and
they were off by 4.
Yeah, the average middle class American
it's just evil.
Can't afford that. And I mean, I think this echoes loudly, not even just in the sporting world, but just America in general. It really shows like how the rich get richer and the poor get poor. Sports were about something you would take your family to when you had your day off to celebrate or just have a good day. But now you got to take out a second mortgage on your home just to catch a couple games. God forbid you have multiple kids.
Exactly. It's our bread and circus to kind of take us away. It's our bread and circus to keep us away from, the things that, of the everyday life just dragging us down. And our outlets are, really becoming more expensive to enjoy. Honestly, it's crazy. Because, we do have to come together, though. Through the power of numbers,
the line has been crossed.
Yeah,
it's been crossed a long time ago, and really, the fans the players aren't going to do anything about it because they're making so much money. The owners aren't going to do anything because they're making so much money. So really, the only people who can put a stop to it are the fans, and we're the ones who bankroll the entire industry. Without us, we actually control all the money in baseball. We don't have control over it, but if we wanted to, if we pulled back, if we stopped, paying for cable bills, if we stopped buying merchandise, if we stopped showing up at games, or even more importantly, going to games and having actual walkouts and demonstrating the kind of power that fans actually have, they have to respond because it's bad publicity. It does not look good. I was talking the other night. I was a guest speaker at actually a Lions Club meeting, and I just asked around the room. I said, how about you? Tell me your experiences. Tell me your experience. And a couple of guys told me theirs. One guy told me that he was season ticket holders. He had these, seats that were pretty good, and he went through the different years of how much they cost, per game, and then when it got to the new stadium, the price tripled or quadrupled. I didn't do the math in my head, but when he told me, and then that's when he let go. He let go of those tickets. There was another guy in the audience who, I said, how many people have brought their family to a game recently? I said, I did.
One guy.
It cost you $1,000.
It's ridiculous.
That's
$1,000.
Especially in this season right now. With if the playoff race was going on, things just get even more ridiculous. Now, you said something about a walkout. Now, I see on your website, which everybody should check out, boycotttheyankees.com. You got I believe it's a YouTube clip of Liverpool fans walking out of a game.
It's awesome. The owner of the Red Sox purchased a soccer team, a popular soccer team in Liverpool, and he raised the prices. And when he raised the prices, the fans organized, and 10,000 fans got up, chanted a certain message, and they walked out. It was covered by all the newspapers, of course, all TV. By the time the next home game came, the prices were lowered. And that's really what it's going to take.
Strength in numbers.
Strength in numbers, yeah.
Yeah. There are people who actually argue with me, and I don't get it. They're like, hey, this is America. People should make as much as they want to make. And, my argument is like, yeah, it's fine. You make as much as you want to make. But when you're making all of that money, and it affects the people who are going to the game, the lower-class people, the middle-class people who want to bring their family to a baseball game, that's when I have a problem with it. I mean, how much money, how much is enough? How much money does a person need? Let's take Robinson Cano. Came up through the Yankees, playing on, arguably, the greatest team, ever, playing in New York, playing second base, starting, being a star.
Yeah.
When his contract comes up, the Yankees offer him $25 million. It was over $20-something million a year. It might have been $25 million a year for 7 years. And the man said it was disrespect.
Oh!
Are you kidding? Yeah.
Wow.
Ridiculous.
It was disrespect. So, in other words, they are so out of control. These players. Look at Max Scherzer.
Do you think that the ties with the Rockefeller family, kind of made it, blow out of control to the area that it is now? Because that name comes with a lot of digits.
Well, they're all interested in making as much money as they possibly can. That's what I was just having a discussion with somebody the other day about this very thing. He said Robinson Cano had no choice. I said he absolutely had a choice to play for the Yankees. Really, what are you talking about? How much money can you spend? After a while, it doesn't become about how much money you can spend. It's about ego. That's when ego kicks in.
So now,
you know what?
Go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yeah, but do you?
No, I was saying, like Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry, but do you think that putting in a salary cap, is that something you'd be for then? If they had like football with a salary cap driven league, was that something you'd be in favor of?
Absolutely, but I don't think the NFL has it right, to be honest with you, because those guys are still making too much money. I think what should happen is Major League Baseball, all of sports, really need a major overhaul. And I believe that if they put their minds to it, the people with the really great minds, people get paid. I have a system in the book, and I'm not saying it's the only system. I'm not even saying it's the system. I'm just saying it's a possible system where people get paid according to what they do. So in other words, if you have a really good couple of years and the Yankees or the Blue Jays or the Mets want to sign you and say, okay, we're going to give you a bonus. And the bonuses would be capped too. In other words, you can't pay more than X amount of dollars on a bonus. So once you get the bonus, now you're on an even keel with everybody else, even the rookie that just came up.
Yeah.
At the end of the year, when they evaluate your stats, if you were a 350 hitter before you came to this team, and all of a sudden you're batting 2 1/4. You get paid according to the 2 1/4. Like, in other words, there's some kind of a mathematical, configuration where they just they put all those stats together, and boom, it spits at you.
So basically, the entire contract being bonus driven. John, what do you?
Yeah, I was gonna say the NFL kind of does cover a little bit of this. The rookie contracts kind of are those evaluation contracts, and then
capped.
And not only that, like usually they use these different contracts I've never heard of that Josh Norman was thinking about taking with the Panthers when he signed and then reneged on the franchise tag. So there was a chance that he was going to go through an evaluation year, a contract for 1 year to evaluate his talent, because remember when he first started he wasn't that great, and then the last 2 years he turned it up, and then in that contract year was his blowout year. So he got the money that he wanted in the end, but they gave him that option though of that contract. So I see it happening a little bit in the NFL.
That's what I was going to say with the rookies. Only with the rookies.
Yeah, only with the rookies. So the most vulnerable people to that game, new to a different system, because when you talk about I know I've mentioned this on the show in previous episodes, but that transitional period from high school to college, each transitional period comes with lower numbers of actually succeeding at that next level.
Oh yeah, we should have the specifics, but I don't have them in front of me. But yeah, the numbers get really depleted. Like Michael Strahan does like a lot of PSAs where he says how many high school athletes there are, and then how many college athletes to how many professional, and then who gets that second contract.
Exactly.
But so Mike, now what?
So it's some control. It's some control, but it's not enough control.
Yeah.
I think that's what you're saying, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. But it's more in the
agree.
direction of what you said. It's a similar to scenario to what you put out. Not exactly the way you said, but it's a same principle. But the reason why I think they allowed that to happen was because the people who negotiated a contract like that were people in the NFL, veterans in the NFL that were negotiating for the union. Do you know what I mean? And then the players just came in to that new contract.
Correct.
They kind of not screwed, but they sacrificed a lot of the rookies things.
Correct.
Because the rookies weren't yet in the NFL
to
defend themselves. But so
it's kind of like our Social Security system.
Right.
But,
I just want to make the point that, again, I was saying before, there are people who like argue with me and say, well, it's not the, and I just want to make the point that I just want baseball to be affordable again. I want sports to be affordable again. When I was a kid, and you brought it up before, you said, it was day off, you can just go to the stadium. You can go to the baseball game whenever you wanted to go, and that is no longer the case, and that's the shame of it all. I want to make it so that the average person can just go. So, what I don't understand is why people have a problem. Some people are so overly loyal that, you just, and the major league teams love these kinds of fans where they can, the Yankees can do no wrong or the Red Sox can do no wrong. They're just people. All they are people. They're corporations who are trying to take as much money as they possibly can, and they don't care about you.
Yeah.
They say they care about the fans, and they don't care about the fans. The only thing they want you to do is keep pumping money into the money machine so that they can have a great ride. But what's happening is that, people are going to a baseball game now maybe once a year, maybe once every other year, as opposed to when I was a kid. I grew up, the Yankees stunk. I mean, I was born in 1960. So, this was the year when the Mets won it in 69. All the Yankee fans can say is like, yeah, well, we have the most World Series, rings, but that was really a pretty lame, backup. But that's all we had because our team was terrible. But it didn't make a difference. We still went to the game. We still went to root for the team. And we went as much as we wanted to go. My parents used to go as much as they wanted to go, especially my mom. My dad was kind of, he had immigrant parents and he was working a lot. But my mom, she lived in Harlem. She used to take the train down to Yankee Stadium all the time and get autographs. These days the players are even charging you for their autographs, which is absolutely
ridiculous.
Insane.
Yeah, see, now I do like another thing I saw on your website that you don't treat the sports heroes like sacred cows. I don't have the direct quote in front of me, but you treat them as talented athletes. Am I correct?
Yes.
So, you're not in favor of people putting the athlete on a pedestal almost and really just doing anything. You're saying enough is enough, and, it's really not fair. And on top of that, I think even more so in baseball because there's so many small market teams in baseball. Do you know what I mean? There's not as many small market teams in the NFL, like the Tennessee Titans. That's a small market team. Yeah. But MLB is filled with teams where it's just for the locals. Like the Yankees are a major team, but you get into a lot of,
Well, also, think about it like this. You had rappers like Jay-Z that, popularized that hat. You had artists like Fred Durst that would wear the neon Yankee hat.
Yeah,
the Yankees, the Raiders, the Cowboys. I see Cowboys stuff on the East Coast. What's up with that? Dallas is all the way down in Texas.
Oh, yeah, Dallas is that's America's team, apparently.
To go back to what you're addressing in this book, I think what we're the problem is, and you're talking with that complacent stature against the I hate what's going on, but I'm just going to sit silent and allow it to go on, is because the answer is not simple, and it's going to take some sacrifices. You're going to have to sacrifice the game that you love in order to get it back. You have to let it go, and if it's meant to be, it will come back, right? Well,
the night is darkest before the dawn.
So you kind of have to make that sacrifice, and the more people that really jump along with that philosophy and jump forward and stand behind it, and don't just how I would like to think of most of the politicians, the flip-floppers. It's like, I'm gonna fight for you. Oh no, this looks very hard. I'm actually gonna retreat now, and I'm gonna stand behind my computer and I'm gonna type up something and I'm gonna see if somebody else can do something about this.
Exactly.
So we just need to but in numbers we stand stronger. So for the people that feel reluctant to make a stand and stand up for your own self, because you're basically being taken advantage of like an uncle. It's like, hey, my uncle's never had a job, but he always taps into my bank account, but he's all right, he's cool.
Exactly.
Now that let's just take a quick second here and remind everybody you guys are tuned into the Voice of Bedlam live on the All In Sports Talk Network. I'm your host, Andrew Santoro. As always, I got my main man, Devil John, on the mic and on the boards. And also, we're currently joined by our special guest, Mike Delucia, author of Boycott the Yankees. Now, Mike, we only have...
Boycott the Yankees. a call to action by a lifelong Yankees fan. That subtitle's got to be in there, because then some people just think, oh, he's a Yankees hater. And actually, of course, I'm not. I love them, you know.
Yeah, so Mike Delucia, Boycott the Yankees, a call to action by lifelong Yankees fans. Now, Mike, before we get out of here, why don't you tell everybody where they can find your book and, just plug your social media or whatever.
Yeah, well, the book, you can buy it on Amazon for $9.99, and you can get it on my website for the same price. But if it comes through my website, I fulfill those orders myself, so I just autograph the book for you. There's also a petition on the website, and you could also, check out any of the clips. There's the Fox News clip. There's the clip of the people, boycotting and standing up and walking out in Liverpool. So through any of those ways, you can find the book right there.
Yeah, I stand behind your stance with this as well, and not only that, you coming from New York, I guess it means a little bit more to me as well, because one of my favorite genres was birthed in New York, and that being hardcore. So you got the Agnostic Front, you got the Gorilla Biscuits and all that, and it inspired that positive mental attitude, the PMA. And to see that that approach is still living on in other ways, anytime that you can find a positive way to solve an issue, that's exactly where we need to be.
All right, Mike. Well, thanks a lot for hanging out with us on Voice of Bedlam Live. Once again, we've been on the phone with Mike Delucia, author of Boycott the Yankees, a call to action by lifelong Yankees fans. Thanks a lot, Mike.
I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
See you later. Now, let's tell you guys about our next sponsor,
Fan Up Network.
The NFL is in full swing, and that means it's fantasy football time. So pay attention to the next 3 words.
Fan Up Network.
This groundbreaking app allows you to view all of your teams, gives you player updates, injury news, and advice from fantasy experts. That's right, everything you need properly managed to properly manage your team, all in one place.
The Fan Up Network.
Get the app now by visiting fanupnetwork.com or search Fan Up in your app store. Streamline the process and gain the edge
at fanupnetwork.com.
That's fanupnetwork.com. All right, now let's get things moving and do a little something we haven't done in a while called an article spotlight. And you guys can check out this article up at
voiceofbedlam.com.
We got a whole bunch of great posts up at voiceofbedlam.com, the show's official site. You can get links to the podcast version of this show or the video on YouTube. We have video of all the shows. Go and check them out. You can get all our social media and some great posts up at voiceofbedlam.com. Now, the post we're going to talk about today is written by Mr. King Kojo Colin Johnson himself. Colin, not with us tonight, probably at a bar somewhere, to be honest. But now,
enjoying the beverage.
Now, what's the title of Colin's newest post?
What the
Week 4. Okay, now, so just to clarify, this is called What the F? Week 4. So now, Colin starts
I'd rather
off,
just go, what the
So now Colin starts off by saying, here at the Voice of Bedlam, we love nothing more than to see exciting, hard-hitting football, the kind of games that make you fall off the edge of your couch and scream, holy beep, what the beep did I just see?
it happens. It happens a lot on
Colin
Sundays.
goes on to say, I thought it would be fun to reminisce about all the unbelievable football moments and outcomes,
about you,
the good and the bad that happened week in and week out. Without further ado, here are the 4's What the moments on voiceofbedlam.com. Now, if you guys want to find out those moments, you guys will have to head over to voiceofbedlam.com and check it out. It's an awesome
it out
post.
now.
Go up there, go to voiceofbedlam.com, or you can find it on our Facebook. Please go like our Facebook page. It is all over the website, and facebook.com/VOB pod. Also on the website, it, you can get you can listen to the All In Sports Talk Network live just by clicking the play button on the side of your screen. So please head over to voiceofbedlam.com.
Do it now, and do it again, and tell your friends, and do it again.
All right, so we're going to keep things moving with this week's Voice of Bedlam Live. All right, and why don't we real quick tell everybody about CarneyEnterprises.com. Now, you guys can go over to CarneyEnterprises.com and sign up for the United Sports Games app. This groundbreaking new app is sweeping the nation, and
people
you guys can play for free and win some awesome prizes. I mean, we're talking jerseys, we're talking hats, game tickets, even a brand new car. And you can win these things by going to CarneyEnterprises.com. That's
CarneyEnterprises.com.
That's KEARNY Enterprises.com. Once again, KEARNY Enterprises.com.
That's United Sports app.
Download the app now.
Do it now.
All right, with this last half hour of Voice of Bedlam Live on the All In Sports Talk Network, John and I are going to be looking over the Week 5 schedule, giving you our breakdown of some of the games. Now, first, John, I'm just going to rattle off all the matchups, and then we'll talk about a couple of the games during this next half hour. Now, one of the games seems to be set up to be a blowout due to the return of New England's Tom Brady. Now, the Patriots, Tom Brady is entering a team from suspension that is 3-1. Patriots somehow managed to remain undefeated throughout the first 3 weeks of the season before getting shut out by division rival Buffalo Bills 17-0 last week. 16-0 last week. But that was the Bills' first shutout at home since 93. But Tom Brady's back, and it's an away game in Cleveland. But, I mean, all the momentum is definitely with the Patriots in this one. Browns 0-4, done for the whole year, and somehow the Brady-less Patriots have gone 3-1. John, what's your shakedown of this? I think this is an easy pick'ems game.
Yeah, this is going to the Patriots. Although honestly, and it's not just because I hate the Patriots. I just want to see an underdog victory. I think Cleveland at home winning would be nice to see, especially Tom Brady coming back with egg on his face a little bit.
Yeah, but that's not going to happen. I mean, the last time
that defense could get it together in Cleveland, I think.
The last time the Patriots saw the Browns,
good.
The last time the Patriots saw the Browns was in 2013, and the Patriots squeaked out a 1-point victory to the tune of 27-26. And the Patriots actually lost the previous meeting in 2010, falling 14-34 from the Cleveland Browns.
So he's lost there. So if that says anything, it could be. It's obviously the season's over for Cleveland, but now they get to play spoiler in a sense.
Yeah, that was actually McCoy that won that game. Colt McCoy going 14 for 19 with 174 yards.
Yeah, with Peyton Hillis when he
that's where the story was. Peyton Hillis, 29 carries, 184 yards, 6.3 yard average, and 2 TDs. Now, that's a game from back in 2010.
Yeah, and it got him a Madden cover.
Yes, it did. And a contract from the New York Giants. Not a big one, but he still didn't live up to it, believe me.
Kind of like a Ron Dane.
Yeah. Oh, my, don't talk to me about Ron Dane, my man.
Hey, I'm sorry. Right, hey, you mentioned it.
Let's get back in nowadays and
bring it in.
Keep moving on with this Week 5 schedule. Now, we have talked already about what got Week 5 rolling, that being the Cardinals coming out 33-21 over the San Francisco 49ers. And then we will have the Eagles visiting the Lions. I see this as another easy pick'ems game, taking the Philadelphia Philadelphia Eagles over the Detroit Lions. Now, the Detroit Lions Lions are 1-3. Philadelphia coming off that early bye week, 3-0. They have the 12th ranked offense, the 3rd ranked defense. But don't get me wrong, Detroit's offense is putting up some numbers with Amir Abdullah and
Abdul's
he's injured now, but at the beginning of the season, but they're the 8th. They're the 8th ranked offense.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking when I chose the Detroit Lions over the Philadelphia Eagles.
JokerChoker.com, pro football pick 'em poker pick.
Had to, it's a gamble, and not only that, I think what's going to happen is that defensive front, because they were blitzing a lot, and Detroit they're just going to hit him, and he's going to find out. I think this is going to be the ultimate welcoming flag for Carson Wentz to welcome to the NFL, because Detroit's going to hit him and see how he responds to it. He could respond very well, under pressure. Who knows?
Well, the last time the Eagles saw the Lions, it was a slaughter by the Lions. The Lions coming out on top, 45-14. Now, that was a couple seasons back, but let's keep moving and talk about Chicago at Indy. Now, the Bears are not a good team. Is Jay Cutler playing in this matchup?
At this moment, I believe he's still lingering with that finger injury. Honestly, it doesn't matter who's throwing the ball over there, Hoyer or him. Either way, this team just looks really, really bad over there.
Now, Hoyer is Chicago's passing leader, not Cutler, with 67 completions, 97 attempts, 697 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Now, Andrew Luck, on the other hand, has thrown for over 1,100 yards and 8 touchdowns. But the Colts still are not looking.
No, their defense is sloppy.
Their defense
really, really
is
sloppy.
Terrible all the time.
Yeah, so if anything, it's going to be a slop fest, but still through the slop fest, I have the Colts winning.
Yeah, I do think the Colts will pull this out. They'll take the wins as they can get them. I don't see the Colts as a good team. I don't see them as a playoff team. Both these teams are 1-3, but I really got to go with Andrew Luck on this one. Now, Titans-Dolphins, I really don't like either one of these teams. Now, this is a game on CPS, 1 p.m. Eastern, but I think I will have to take the Tennessee Titans in this matchup. Miami really has no offense, 26th ranked offense overall. Not that Tennessee is much better with the 18th, but Tennessee's defense is the 14th ranked defense in the NFL, and I just think they have a more talented roster.
I was just about to say, do you remember these Titans?
Yeah, Marcus Mariota over Ryan Tannehill any day.
I do, and I think the emergence of DeMarco Murray there is awesome. They're moving the ball on the ground, and it takes a little bit off of the shoulders of a young sophomore quarterback.
Yeah, DeMarco Murray, 66 carries, 340 yards for 3 touchdowns. Mariota has thrown for 925 yards and 4 touchdowns. So DeMarco Murray has almost rushed for as many touchdowns as Mariota has played.
Out of Alabama. 27 carries, 97 yards. That's
no
nice.
Touchdowns, 3.6 average.
Still almost 100 yards, so that's nice. It's a good day. But that defense is just really sloppy as well in Miami. So, other than that, I have the Titans winning. So, I don't see this. It's a slop fest here too.
Both these teams. Neither one of these teams is good, but I think the Titans will. The Titans are still a better team, and I think this Titan team might be able to grow and become a real team. But both these teams are kind of JV teams to me.
I hear you, and I think that I have the Titans winning. I maybe even by 14.
Yeah. I don't think. Maybe I don't know. The Dolphins have a pretty terrible defense.
They allowed a lot of rushing.
One team that has a phenomenal defense is the Baltimore Ravens, with the first-ranked defense in the NFL, taking on Washington Redskins with the 29th, third worst defense in the NFL. So, John, who do you like in this game?
Nevermore.
Them Ravens.
I took them this year as a division leader, and it took a little bit of time. Like I said, although I kind of contradict myself in the statement there that believing in these Baltimore Ravens, because in fantasy I just traded Steve Smith Sr. away. But honestly,
the Ravens could really use an offense.
Yes, their offense, it's older. It's really older. You got Mike Wallace, you got Steve Smith Sr., who in his last year. Who knows how long Mike Wallace is going to last as well. So, next year they're going to really rely on Brashad Perriman to, stay healthy and become the next guy in, and then bring in new talent as well next year. But for right now, they are moving the ball somewhat effectively, but it's not the numbers that you would expect going into a Week 5 matchup.
But see, Washington's offense really, Washington's offense is better than Baltimore's offense, but Baltimore's defense is far superior.
Exactly. I think they're going to be able to match up well against the Jordan Reed, and not only that, the corners are going to be able to shut down Deshaun Jackson's streak route and
his one route.
Exactly. I think if there's one person that might have a good game in that wide receiver core in the Redskins, it's going to be Crowder. I think because he's coming in at that third ranked position in that wide receiver core, so that gets him less attention from.
He also has
secondary.
2 touchdowns.
Yes, exactly.
Which is tied with Reed.
Yeah, but he's got the attention of defensive coordinators because of that. But honestly, when he go out into play,
you're right.
He's
you're going to pay
be
attention to Jordan Reed more so because Jordan Reed, bigger target, tight end, coming across the middle. That's a good red zone target. Jordan Reed, 25 receptions, 263 yards, 2 touchdowns with a 10.5-yard average. He is Kirk Cousins' #1 receiver coming out of the tight end spot. Now, Kirk Cousins has thrown for 6 touchdowns. Now, Joe Flacco, his numbers really aren't busting off the charts. Only throwing for
Kirk Cousins.
But at least Cousins has got the 6 touchdowns.
Oh, he's
Flacco's
got 2 more.
but
and 100
only
more
got
yards.
The 4. I don't know. And I mean, it doesn't help that Flacco really doesn't have a running game. Like Justin
and not only
Forsett
that, you
can't
said
put up consistent years, yet to score a touchdown, averaging 3.2 yards a carry. Terrence West averaging 4.3.
Yeah, that's the same. About the same. We're looking at a team that matches up very well against the other team.
Now, offense to offense, but the
Correct.
defense is far greater.
Exactly.
Baltimore defense is far greater than the offense.
That's the deciding factor.
Win
that's the deciding factor.
The Baltimore Ravens this Week 5 interconference matchup.
Yeah, as long as they can mark up against Jordan Reed and Crowder. I think Crowder's going to have a big game, though.
So let's see. Have we disagreed on anything yet, John? I don't believe so.
I don't believe so because, no.
Yeah, I mean, I like the Patriots, Eagles, Colts.
Colts, yep.
Titans, and then Ravens.
Yep.
So we're in agreement on everything.
Yeah, we're
so who
still
you
in
taking
agreement.
with the Purple People Eaters hosting the J.J. Wattless Houston Texans?
That defense is going to shut down that offense really quick.
Which side of what
the Minnesota defense? Sorry,
Minnesota with the.
I think they're, in my opinion, I think they're one of the best defenses right now. But honestly, the numbers are there, and honestly, I think they're the #1 in my opinion. They really do have a good defense out there, and they're undefeated. They're undefeated with Samuel Bradford.
With the 31st ranked offense, they are undefeated. 31st. Defense wins championships.
They're going with the Peyton Manning approach.
Yeah, I mean, they lost Adrian Peterson. They lost Teddy Bridgewater. Sam Bradford wasn't even in the key camps. He got traded less than 2 weeks before the season.
Correct.
Came in to a Week 2 matchup, you know what I mean? And is really set in nicely, completing 66 of 95 for 719 yards and 4 touchdowns. Now, as I said, They have the 31st ranked offense, but it's been enough to get them through it.
Yeah, but Stephon Diggs has been like their, diamond over there, and right now he's hurting with a little bit of a hand problem.
He is questionable for this game. But Kyle Rudolph leads the team in touchdowns with 3, 221 yards to Stephon's 372 yards, 1 touchdown.
Indeed. So I honestly had the purple rain winning.
Purple rain.
Purple rain. Purple rain.
Gruden better patent that, or maybe you should patent that. Steal it?
No, because I don't want the estate of Prince coming after me.
There you go.
I was about to say, like, I might even get sued for just the little thing I just did right there. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. Maybe we should stop talking about it in general. And let's stop talking about that game in general.
Yeah. So anywho,
we'll move on
the
nice little AFC match.
Yeah, right.
The 1-3 Jets will be visiting the 3-1 Steelers. Now, the last time these two teams faced off was in 2014, with the Jets coming out on top thanks to Geno Smith and Rex Ryan. Jets coming out on top in that matchup, 20-13. Now, the Steelers have kind of been up and down, but the Jets are all out terrible.
Yes, I agree. And not only that,
at least Ryan Fitzpatrick is.
The running back tandem over there in Pittsburgh is very strong. You got Le'Veon Bell and you got D'Angelo Williams. Both.
Not to mention Antonio Brown.
Antonio Brown, and for some reason, the quarterback for the Jets, Mr. Fitzmagic, which I'm starting to not believe in magic.
Do you believe in magic?
No, sir. Nope. No, sir. No, sir. I do not believe. I do not believe in your magic. Although Brandon Marshall does, and I guess that's
just because Brandon Marshall's a loyal dude.
Yeah,
that doesn't mean I trust his evaluation.
Yeah, throwing all those picks. The 10 though, come on, man. You have to light it up the next few games.
4 touchdowns to 10 interceptions.
Yeah, that's just terrible.
Awful.
It's terrible.
Sickening.
It's terrible, Kenny.
Horrible.
But honestly, I got that defense. Revis for some reason is like falling off the cliff. Or
whose defense?
That Jets defense against Antonio Brown and Sammy Coates. Sammy Coates is emerging over there in Pittsburgh, and Marcus Wheaton. So you got 3 solid wide receivers there, and that defense is just, I don't know what's happening over there in New York, but they better figure it out and maybe turn it around against these Steelers.
All right, guys, you guys are listening to A Voice of Bedlam live on the All In Sports Talk Network. Thanks for hanging out with us. You got Andrew Bedlam and Devil John on the mic. We're rocking through an hour of NFL coverage. Now, we had Mike Delucia on, author of Boycott the Yankees. If you guys missed that, you can head over to voiceofbedlam.com, click on audio podcast, and listen to the show in its entirety. Or you guys can click on video podcast, get directed to our YouTube page, and watch it all right before your eyes. See how gorgeous we look.
And look at these handsome devils.
There you go. All right. Yeah. But let's get back over to the gridiron and talk about a 4 o'clock game taking place at Mile High. And this is one of the best games of the week, I think. Fox's game of the week. Falcons at Denver. Now, I mean, the Falcons, Matty Ice thrown for over 500 yards last week, 300 of them going to Julio Jones, giving them the #1 ranked offense. But, I mean, they still have absolutely no defense, 30th overall to Denver's 4th. So the question of this game is, can the #1 Falcons offense knock off the #4 Denver defense?
Absolutely
John, I agree. These stats are inflated. I mean, I think it'll be a good game. I hope it is. But these stats are inflated because of last week's performance. The Falcons' numbers were nowhere near that high. Flacco was yet to break 1,000 yards before this game, and now he's up at 1,400 almost 1,500 with
Matt Ryan.
11. Yeah, that's what I've been saying, Matt Ryan, with 11 touchdowns. Now, Julio Jones got all of his touchdowns last week, all 3 of them, and Devontae Freeman has been getting the bulk of the carries for the running backs, 55 carries to Coleman's 40, but Coleman has 4 touchdowns to Devontae Freeman's 1, and they are the number 1 rushing attack in the NFL.
That performance by Julio Jones gave him 3 touchdowns and gave another person a pink slip.
Now, Coleman's also turned it on through the air, pulling in 13 receptions for 181 yards. No touchdowns through the air for a 14-yard average, and he is Matt Ryan's second. He has the second most yards.
Correct.
Through the air.
Yeah, this offense is very good through the air, but honestly, this defense in Denver is still very serious. And not only that, they have a lot of depth to compete against this. Honestly, we're going to see Denver's running game really merge this game because they're going to pound through Atlanta, and then it's just going to open up that passing
C.J.
game.
Anderson.
It's just going to be, if you have, let's just put it this way, if you have a Denver player and you put him on the bench for fantasy, you are messing up. See, I almost cursed right there. See,
yeah, absolutely, though. I mean, that's why I like Denver. I mean, I don't think Atlanta's offense is going to be as good as they were last week.
No.
And Trevor Siemian doesn't have to do anything at all. Trevor Siemian has 6 touchdowns on the year, but it's really that running game that's taking care of business for Denver.
Indeed. And I'm just, you know what's funny? I just traded for C.J. Anderson in our league. So
yeah, C.J. Anderson. What did you give up for him? Was it approved?
It was approved. I gave up Mr. Steve Smith Sr.
Oh, C.J. Anderson having 3 touchdowns on the ground, 1 through the air, 4 touchdowns. The other 5 Trevor Siemian touchdown passes are courtesy of Demaryius Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders. Emmanuel Sanders having 3, Thomas having 2.
And I think those numbers are going to be somewhat similar to what's going to happen. Again, I think they're going to be maybe C.J. Anderson getting at least 2 touchdowns. I hope.
So me and John still in agreement on the outcomes of all of Week 5.
I'm not living up to my nickname right now.
All right, now let's see if we'll defer on this game, but I doubt we will. 4:25 at AT&T Stadium. The Cincinnati Bengals will take on the Dallas Cowboys.
Yes. I got the Cowboys, honestly. I got the Cowboys winning at home.
Yeah, this one's kind of hard for me. I mean, that offense of the Cowboys is great. Number 2 offense in the league. Cincinnati has the 10th ranked offense, but a much better defense than the Cowboys have. Now, Dak Prescott has led this team, accompanied by Ezekiel Elliott, of course. But the only game the Cowboys have lost was the first game of the career of both of their offensive weapons, and it was a squeaker, a loss to the New York Giants. The Giants now losing 2 straight, but so it's. I mean, I think I just want to pick the Bengals because I hope the Cowboys lose, but I have to go with the Cowboys in this matchup, and I see Dak Prescott taking down Andy Dalton and the rest of the Bengals. Now, we're going to have to pick things up a little bit. Going to get you our picks for the next couple games, and then we're going to have to get out of here and wrap up this past hour of Voice of Bedlam Live. Now,
Voice of Bedlam Live.
Rams hosting, Bills traveling to LA, high off that shutout of the Brady-less Patriots, but that's all Rex Ryan cares about. He beat Bill Belichick, shut him out. That's all that matters. I think their head's too big. I don't think the Bills are good.
Falls off.
Sammy Watkins is on IR. The Rams are on fire. Jeff Fisher does great with teams after a location. I like the Rams and Todd Gurley big time in this one.
All right, well, we're going to have to stop thinking alike here because I also go with LA, and that's the last one, that the Dallas game, was my Joker Choker pick'em for Dallas. So yeah, I don't know, man. We're syncing up here for sure.
Right. Remember to check out jokerchoker.com and use our promo code Bedlam at entry and get a bunch of free coins. But let's keep on moving. I know we agree in this next one. Chargers at Raiders. I like the silver and black.
Yes, they are back. The silver and black.
Ready
so
to
just
attack.
Win, baby.
Silver and black are ready to attack. So says Khalil Mack.
Indeed. We must have grown up with Mr. Dr. Seuss or something, because we were just like rhyming all the time.
Nice little preseason post, a little throwback for Devil John over there up at voiceofbedlam.com. Please go over there and check out the blog.
Voiceofbedlam.com.
Indeed. Now your boys, the G-Men, are going to Lambeau.
Did not want to talk about this game.
To the Sunday night spotlight, as I like to call it. Are you ready for some Sunday night football against these cheeseheads, Mr. G-Man?
Now, I want to make things clear. I love the New York Giants. I feel like the New York Giants are part of my family. But I cannot give my honest opinion and say I think the New York Giants, who have lost 2 straight, turned the ball over 8 times in 3 weeks, terrible penalties, ridiculous penalties, will take down the Green Bay Packers. I pray to God they do, but they are not my pick.
Yeah, I got the Packers as well.
Please,
especially in Lambeau. I got the. You got to believe in that, because you got Eddie Lacy, who's putting up numbers, after there was a lot of question about whether or not he was even going to be able to perform this year and lose the weight. Yeah, and plus
he did lose some weight, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He lost some weight, and he's performing very well in Green Bay. And honestly, Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers, and I know that sounds very weird just to say, oh well, he's Aaron Rodgers, but he's a very well poised, well seasoned quarterback that knows the game very well, and he knows the pro systems, and he knows in systems meaning defensive systems, so he knows how to diagnose what he's going up against very quickly, and he makes good choices. He's got solid receivers, and with a shoddy defense over on the New York side, with all due respect to your team, well,
there's a lot of injuries. Our defense against the run is playing great. Defense 11th overall, actually 2 spots better than Green Bay. Green Bay coming in at 13th. The Giants actually have a way higher ranked offense as well, 6th ranked offense to Green Bay's 29th. But another interesting stat that I'm noticing, and I'm doing it, how dare I speak that blasphemy, I'm changing my pick and going with the New York Giants. Green Bay, you can go stuff yourself. So the Giants have taken out Green Bay the last 3 meetings. And the first of the 3 meetings coming in the playoffs during that 2011-2012 run. They also beat the Patriots that upcoming season 38-10, and they beat them in 2013, the last time they saw them, 27-13. I'm going with the Giants. They can't turn the ball over. I think the Giants can beat anybody, but they can't turn the ball over and get stupid friggin' penalties. They have such a talented offense. They have such a talented roster in general. It's just Dwayne Harris muffs that punt last week. Whole game goes bad. Giants get 2 penalties to basically make them lose the ball. You know what I mean? They basically had a punt because of the 2 penalties. Then the defense stuffs them. 3 and out. Harris muffs the punt, and Green Bay goes down and scores, and it was pretty much all over from there.
Yeah, but that's when you had solid defenses, though. And honestly, this defense looks like they're going to have their hands full. Honestly,
I disagree. I think the Giants' defense can really take down the offense of the Green Bay Packers.
I think they're going to have a hard time stopping that run game.
Giants pretty good against the run after signing Olivier Vernon, JPP, and they got Hankins and Snacks Harrison in the middle. I'm sorry, I got to go with the Giants in this one. Got to go with the Giants. We got one quick game we'll touch on briefly, and it's John's Carolina Panthers, who, now, John, maybe we disagree on this one. I'm taking the Bucks.
I got the Panthers at home because Derek Anderson's going to probably get the start because Cam Newton's still inactive at practices. my buddy, who I mentioned in a previous post on voiceofbedlam.com, said Zach Sanchez was, deserving to be on the team. And guess what? Bene Wakir, who got burnt by Julio Jones all game, was cut from the Panthers, and now Zach Sanchez gets his shot, and I'm happy for it. So let's go. Keep pounding, Panthers.
All right, that's the only game we disagree on. We will start the next show recapping that game, do a nice big spot on it. For now, that's it. We got to remind you guys to head out to the Welcome Inn if you're in the Northeast. Head out to the Welcome Inn October 28th. Pogo City presents Night of the Living Pogo, featuring Hate to Say It and Admit Nothing with more to be announced. Costumes welcome, and the show is totally free, which means you can spend even more money on beer, and that's always a good thing. So get ready for a spooky Halloween punk show at the Welcome Inn in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. That's going to wrap it up for this hour. Big thanks to Mike Delucia, author of Boycott the Yankees, for coming on. Go to boycotttheyankees.com. Check everything out. Go to voiceofbedlam.com. That's it, guys. For John, I'm Andrew, and we're getting the hell out of here.